Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. Demo edition is part of the Steam Next Fest that's going on right now. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler, but with kind of a Diablo loot system, which is really neat, and it's kind of an interesting fusion between Heroes of Hammerwatch and Hammerwatch 2, because Hammerwatch 2 is trying to go for like a full open exploration RPG with like actual somewhat dynamic quest timing and whatnot. Like you could miss quests and a bunch of other stuff, which is wild and maybe not exactly my flavor, but I thought the gameplay was great and the exploration was a lot of fun. And so they're back with a sequel to Heroes of Hammerwatch, which was, yeah, the roguelite spin-off, where you would go on adventures, grab resources, bring them back to town, and upgrade the town in meaningful ways. The town looks huge now. I'm quite curious to see where it goes. I've done exactly one test run, part of a test run, so I only vaguely know what I'm doing. And, oh, we can go to the tavern. We can buy a simple broth. Half to health and mana regen. That seems worthwhile. And let's get started. So I'm playing as a wizard character. I've got like a little bit of equipment. Whoa, that's effective. I don't think I had my headphones on yesterday, and these sound effects need to go down a bunch, maybe. There we go. That might actually be too much, but that's fine. I was just doing a test run, I think. Well, I was just kind of chilling yesterday to be like, yeah, how much has changed? Is this worth doing a video on now, or should I wait for later? And, like, so far it seems great. One of the big immediate changes is just the fact that it starts you out in kind of like a big open field. Okay, crude whetstone. Okay, we can pick that up. So, I'll explain that in a hot second. But, so yeah, rather than just chucking you into claustrophobic caves and stuff, you're now out in this kind of bigger open field, which feels nice. I like it, purely from the perspective of, is that a coin? No. I think it's a flower, but it's being obscured by my electricity rune. Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot more kind of... Ooh. So we can do arcane jumps. Increase my experience gain. I think I'm gonna go for arcane learning intellect 1. But yeah, it just feels like I'm actually on an adventure, and I'm assuming at some point we're gonna end up in an actual dungeon. Like so. But let's leave that for a second, because we've got the rest of this field area that we should check out before I go anywhere or do anything. I'm not even sure if we have branching routes. Like I said, I did part of a test run. I've never seen that big cathedral there, so I have no idea what that thing's deal is. Which is kind of neat. The idea of having dynamic adventures in the in kind of a roguelike is always something I'd love to see more of, where you can actually like branch zones, go to different places, fight different mini dungeons and whatnot. And it feels like Heroes of Hammerwatch might actually be one of the first games to really pull that off. That feeling of being able to go places and explore. I know Tales of Maj'Eyal, for example, is a good example of actually being able to do this, or Caves of Qud or something, where you just have the option for permadeath, so it is a roguelike. And obviously it's procedurally generated. I don't like the fact that the enemies start running at me as soon as my fireball starts flying in their direction. Feels like it should hit first, but whatever, not a big deal. I keep trying to press E to interact with stuff, and that's a mistake. That's okay. It doesn't seem like there's anything else down in this little area here. Let's toss another fireball right into their midst. This game pulls off the Dungeons and Dragons vibe of chucking a fireball into a crowded room and watching everything explode. And I appreciate that. And chucking it into a crowded wolves. Chucking fireballs. It feels good. I'll have to play around with my stats and abilities, because the equipment system is very much scaling off of your, like, elemental traits. Let's see. I have to routinely check the map, too, just in case I've missed anything. Looks like this is functionally it, unless the road north goes places. It looks like it does. It looks like it goes many places. Let's see. So a couple of things to note is that the two abilities on the right are fixed. Oh, hey, new characters? We'll answer your call to arms. We'll join you on this quest. Oh, they're just going to follow me around. I thought they were going to be townsfolk, but no, it's just random NPCs helping out. All right. That probably means these guys can die. I was kind of hoping I could just send them back to town instead and just be like, hey, get out of here. Maybe they'll go back anyway. Who knows? We might want to go into that cathedral. I think let's explore the entire forest area first. And then I'll go back. Oh, that's a cliff. And fortunately, they're not dodgy like me, nor durable like me. And so there's a very real possibility they're just going to get wrecked by the flying plants and some other things. But, I mean, I guess they're just temporary assistance more than permanent minions. Where does this go? Nowhere. Somewhere? It's a nice little clearing. But if there's something to do in that location, I do not know what it is. And the music's good as always. I don't know, it's kind of heartening to see Hammerwatch still rolling. I keep hoping they'll go back and do a little bit more tweaks on Heroes of Hammerwatch. I've heard it's like very buggy, especially for multiplayer. Or not Heroes of Hammerwatch, Hammerwatch 2. And maybe I'm wrong. If you've played Hammerwatch 2 recently and you actually know like that its condition is fine, let me know, because I want to play that game probably with my brother and my dad, or my wife, or all four of us, or something like that, but I kept reading that the reviews were kind of rough. And so I've been holding off on potentially suggesting that as a, like, get together and have fun night kind of game. We're still going. That's wild. Okay, so whatever that cathedral thing is like maybe a subzone that I can just go into. Oh, there are still enemies. I'm also noticing regen is much higher in this, and maybe they've got it tuned up for the demo or something. And maybe it's just the fact that I paid for the tavern to give me some food. Because I'm not actually, like, low on health. I'm more low on mana, and that's just because I'm slinging fireballs like a cretin. Do I just sling another fireball? Oh, well, beat me to the punch. It's fine. I wasn't really expecting to save these guys. It would be kind of cool if your other characters would show up as, like, random NPCs you could find. Because that is definitely an area transition. So let's go back to that cathedral and pop in and see what it is. Because if that turns out to... Oh, I was kind of hoping we'd have a forest shortcut. Because either the cathedral's a new dungeon thing, or it's like a little side path. Either way, I want to see what's inside of it. There's... here? No, it was further down. Yeah, it was further down. Well, I guess I might as well quaff the well. And keep making some progress. So, might as well mention kind of by default that, yes, the demo is available now if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, and it has multiplayer enabled. I have no idea the state of it, but you can at least play with friends if you so choose to do so. Which, I don't know, is nice. There have been a lot of sequel roguelikes coming out recently that are multiplayer compatible, and as far as I can tell, like every single one of the ones that has come out, that is available as part of the next fest. Oh, Dark Citadel. I wonder how to get in. Well, ow. I guess we can't go that way. So that means we might actually get the ability to, like, skip the forest and go into the Dark Citadel directly? That's fun. But yeah, just for the multiplayer thing, you know, this Streets of Rogue 2, oh, what's the Unrailed? I think it's Unrailed or whatever that one is. And I want to say like one other sequel, and They're all just online multiplayer compatible, and it's nice. I don't know. I love co-op games. I love co-op roguelikes. And it's felt like there was kind of a dearth of them for a while. But we're getting to the point where like almost every major new roguelike is just multiplayer to begin with. And it makes sense. You know, roguelikes are becoming a bit of a dime a dozen at this point. And from like a solo perspective, it's becoming harder and harder for me to be too excited about like a lot of them just because more of the same. Oop. Okay, this went badly. I think I lost my assistance, but we're fine. Okay, get him with that. The fact that they just pop out of nowhere to get me is rough. It's probably gonna get me killed at some point, but whatever. Let's see, book of... Oh! Yeah, it's something I gotta watch out for. Okay, so let's take a look at my inventory. Book of Spells. Oh, it's a trinket, not an equipment. Trinkets are passives that only last for the run. Equipment is equipment that you just carry with you and keeps from one run to the next. Which I actually think is a great system. I don't think Heroes of Hammerwatch, the first, had an equipment system. It was purely just meta progression, and so this gives you even more character customization, which I think is swell. And then also there's mid-run ability modifications, which I also don't think was in the first one. It was all like stats and cool abilities and stuff, which also was good. But it was like all meta progression in the trinket system. And so now that they've added these 2 extra layers on top of everything else, it feels good. I mean, Heroes of Hammerwatch already felt good. Hammerwatch felt good. But this feels even better. And then, yeah, being able to bring friends along makes it even nicer. I just pop that guy. But so, because roguelikes are becoming so common and kind of repetitive, having substantive online multiplayer seems like the easiest and best way to potentially make a roguelike stand out. Especially if you're doing a sequel, you've already got that built-in audience. Now you got a built-in audience that's going to want to play with their friends. I realize this is more like marketing speech, but the more I do this job, the more I'm just like, yeah, it's marketing. And some part of that is just fascinating to me. Especially like how to do marketing without just being kind of ghoulish. Yeah, it's like as soon as I fire the fireball, they know I've fired it off. I wish there was just like a half-second delay, or if, you know, they don't aggro until I've actually hit them. Okay. Snag these. And we're good. Well, difficulty curve doesn't seem to be too bad. I remember Heroes of Hammerwatch, like the original early access version, was kind of rough. I'd have to go back and like recheck my footage, but I remember being slightly dismissive of it because it felt just a little overtuned. Probably because it was a demo or something to that extent. But this feels like a full, proper experience. Grab the rest of that material. Okay. Increases... Oh, each point of intelligence increases your attack power. Small chance to stun enemies from magic missiles, or my fireball has a minor slow. I think I'm going to go for the empowered intellect. That just gives me 13 extra attack power. Which I don't know how much damage I do to begin with, but that seems like that's good. Fuse aquamarine, ice resistance, ice penetration, and then, yeah, infuse gemstones. I don't really know why I wouldn't pick these things up. Unless I was like, maybe not, for fear of sharing with, or not fear of, but like in the interest of sharing with another player. I usually assume those abilities are instanced though, right? I think they are. Damn, that fireball's effective. I'll have to look at my other abilities that are, like, in my lineup next time I'm in town. Because with how good the fireball has been so far, it does kind of feel like a good idea to just be the fireman. I was worried going into this. I cut myself on my middle finger on my left hand yesterday, so I was worried I wouldn't be able to record today, but it looks like it's not that bad, actually. And there are two parts of... there's three parts of, like, 3, 4... I mean, there's plenty of reasons for me to be concerned. I think I'm just gonna go kind of a... Oh my god, how many of these guys are there? Okay, and he's got some kind of ice thingamadoo. Avoid that. They're all trying to hit me with rocks. Luckily, the rocks are easy enough to avoid. Let's see. But yeah, I'm very scared that something is going to happen to my eyes, my voice, obviously my brain, and then my hands. Because, like, without those things, I can't really do my job. And so I'm always, like, very leery about doing damage to them. Hellfire Simple Circlet. Seems good. I don't think we even have one of those. So, requires 7 intelligence, gives me armor, extra fire damage, and whatever that other stat is. What is that other stat? Is it info? Info stats. Okay. Looks like it's attack crit chance or crit damage. It's one or the other. I think that's crit damage as opposed to chance. That's fine. I still like the idea of the gear and equipment system. I think it's a very good way of... Oh, didn't even know they were going to be there. The bugs like to just pop out of the ground and messes with me a little bit. Oh, farmer? Farmer. Traveling cook gave you a serving of sweet pancakes. Got food. Oh. Maybe he'll join the town? I'm gonna check effects. Sweet pancakes. Extra movement speed, extra experience gain. Sounds good to me. Yeah, hopefully he actually joins the town, because I would very much appreciate having more options like that. Really just more regen is the big one. Though who knows, I might get plenty of regen from stats and whatnot. The one problem with the fireball is it moves to its target destination, so if my enemies are moving, I have to be, like, very careful to actually hit the correct spot. Which is to say, I'm not going to do a good job of that. Okay. R for potion. Fill it back up again. I guess I could have waited a little bit. I saw the tripwire and I wasn't sure what it did. Now I know, so that's how we get the extra enemies. Unfortunately, the hurt finger does mean that I'm not going to be as dexterous as I might normally be. So my reaction times are going to be worse, because, yeah, I've got a big band-aid on my, my middle finger, which is the button that I press W and S with. Which, yeah, losing that or even having that impacted is not great. I love the fact that the wizard's just basic attack, at least with this wand, is an AoE. Makes it really good for group clearing. I think oddly enough, it's like a poison wand as well. I'm not sure if it's actually applying a poison status effect. I'd like to believe. But I do not know. Okay. There's a bunch of these guys. Just not sure if it's particularly practical for me to lure them all. Oh, I should probably also be a little bit more conservative with my mana. I just realized how low it is. Shouldn't be much of a problem, though. Let's see, I don't think we have anything over here. Yeah, map tells me where loot is, so even if I don't spot it, it'll at least point me in the right direction, hopefully. I don't know if these guys are reachable. Yeah, they're just scenery. I was wondering about that. They seem like they'd be reachable. They seem like I should be fighting them. There are a lot of them, so I guess there's reasons not to. Alright, Dark Caves. Level 1. Oh, wait, no, I did get the well already. I wonder if we can go back up again. I should do a test on that. Can I? No. This is a one-way trip. Oh, what? The falling rocks are a little rough. What? What is even trick? Ow. Oh. That tree is a bat nest. So every time I hit it, it summons a wave of bats. Keeping that in mind. There we go. Lightning runes are pretty good too. That's looking fairly good. Boulder traps. Oh, nope. Yeah, I definitely need some more equipment at some point. To offset some of the danger here. At least there's food, and yeah, I have my natural regen, so it's not that bad. Torch him. Those fireballs are so good. Alright, leave them with the lightning runes. So far, so mostly fine. Guess I should be using my magic missiles, because those do a lot of damage. I wonder if those guys were resistant to fire. That would explain some things. Yeah, sure. We'll snag this. So I think this is actually the door down. I think I just didn't hit him with the lightning. That's confusing. Okay, there goes the bats. So much meat on the ground. What's wrong with these goblins? Leveled up. Yeah, they absolutely do hear like a magic spell from a certain distance. They'll come running, even if I'm not strictly shooting at them. That's fair. There you go, that messes them up. Life looks good. I'm digging this. It very much reminds me of, I mean, what Hammerwatch 2 was, but without the fiddly bits of going into town and completing quests. It's just, all combat and adventure, no downtime. Not that Hammerwatch 2 had a whole lot of downtime, but it did feel like I was going into these possibly overlarge dungeons just to get like a thing, whereas this being a roguelite, that is kind of the point of the game. There's no feeling of like this is a waste of time because the whole game is Just a fun little Skinner box with some good rewards. I guess the main question is just how many times do you have to roll through this? Because these levels are huge. And how long does it take? You know, is it a 4+ hour experience? I guess I should go back and play Heroes of Hammerwatch again. My Sunday stream group has expressed interest in playing some Heroes of Hammerwatch at some point, so I'll probably do that. Alright, I'm going to switch to controller for a little while. Let's see, reduces cooldowns. Nah, size of the fireball. Okay, now I gotta remember how to play without keyboard. Alright, that's the fireball. Oh wait, no, that's my regular attack. That's magic missile. Ah. Okay, so aiming the fireball is the hardest part, largely due to the fact that I have to press a completely different button to confirm where I'm shooting it. Everything else seems fairly okay. Just gotta figure out, okay, there's that. Whoops. And then we can just move away from them. I was not expecting that many enemies. That was a good lightning room. Let's just use the magic missile. And maybe I shouldn't invest too hard into... Oh, that didn't work. And maybe I shouldn't invest too hard into the fireball. The one downer is because I can't use it in active combat, it becomes kind of impractical. Because it's a little hard to aim. It's so easy to shoot past enemies. Spiderweb. Every 3 seconds you spit a web at a random nearby enemy, slowing them in a small area. That seems good. And just even more attack speed. Well, that's nice. Ow. That's so rude. Okay. Just get him with the magic missile. That's a tanky wizard. Oh, he might actually be like a champion adjacent enemy. Okay, grab food. And yeah, that does mess them up. Like, Fireball 100% is the best opener I have. Whoops. I do appreciate that the rocks are equal opportunity, kind of. They're still aiming for me, but I can at least use it to bait enemies. Damn it. Keep trying to use the fireball and keep using the lightning rune. At least worked out there. Oh, nope, didn't work. Damn. Oh, there's gold in the corner. Oh yeah, of course there is. Sorry, it just looked like it was part of the furs for whatever reason. I've missed a fair bit. Yeah, I can't really blame myself for missing that. There's a lot of twinkly bits all over the place. Oh, we have blacksmith, alchemist, tinker. So, trinket picker. Extra damage against elites. Spell hits have a chance to inflict confusion, or just crit chance. I think I'm gonna go for the hypnotic flute, just because. It just seems like if I could get those set bonuses, we'd be in for a very good time. Okay. Now there's like a dude left. I probably should have actually just magic missiled them. Okay, anything else? Bit of gold and one area in the bottom right. I guess the dungeon levels aren't that much bigger or smaller. than Heroes of Hammerwatch. I think they're just a lot more expansive and open. Which is good? Feels good enough. Okay, a little bit of gold in the corner and then I think we're good to go. Whoops. Except for the fact that there's a bat tree and I'm wandering around with the map open. Oops. Gotta be careful about that. Alright, now I think we're good to go. I don't see anything else. This is the one trinket. We got the perk point, got all the loot. There's like food and mana galore all over the place, but by the time I get anywhere, my mana is going to be back up to full. And I can just snag that one. And then I don't have to worry about it. Dark Cave level 2. Right, that is a lot of enemies. I'm just gonna keep leaving lightning runes all over the place as kind of just a, you know, I know you're gonna have to chase me eventually. So let's just leave nasty little gifts for everybody. The ogres aren't that tough. They chuck rock, but otherwise it's not that bad. Let's clear the top section first. I saw a hell of a lot of ogres. Well. Ow. Wow, I was not expecting the bleed to be that bad. The one problem I have with the controller controls, it's going to cost me a bit. You lose 40% of your resources on death, but at least you get to keep the stuff. Yeah, the one downside about the controller is the dodge button is the circle and or B button depending on what you're using, which is to say not great if you're aiming at things with the right stick. I feel like that probably needs an alternative setting or something. I guess I could get a controller with a back paddle. That'd probably solve the problem. Okay. Let's see. So they want me to build a smithy. Never be able to repay you. We can get more potion charges. I do actually have a lot of gold. What else can we get? Training grounds, train player skills. Oh, but that's expensive. Probably blacksmith. Can I get the Hunter's Guild? No. Okay, where blacksmith's down here. Can teach you to use your armor and weapons more efficiently. If you can get us resources for a proper forge, be able to upgrade your equipment. Yeah, that sounds cool. So what else can we buy? Just flat stats. I'll get a little bit, but not too much yet. So buy new equipment. These are tomes and some other things. It seems like they're pretty basic, though. I don't really know what the difference is between them and the merchant. So what are we missing? Might not have gloves. So I could try the stout gloves. I'll do it. Yeah, okay. I just want to fill in all of my equipment spots. Yeah, we might as well buy whatever we can here. Alright, so that's a bunch of attack power, at the very least. Let's go take a look at stats. So, might as well mention, I kind of alluded to this earlier. Okay, level up, gain stat points. Okay, so it's going to just tutorialize at me. So your left click and right click abilities are actually based on your equipment rather than your like stats. Rather than the talent points here. So this toxic fire wand is how I have firebolt, and this is how I have the glyph of lightning. So those can be switched out at any point. This is where I learn other skills. So we can get barrier. So reduce damage taken by 30%. Max stacks 3. Ooh. That is good. What's the final level? Actually, I think it keeps going down. That is good. So I can just give myself more mana and mana regen per intelligence. That's not a bad idea. More damage, same mana cost, same cooldown. More damage. I think I'm just gonna go for Arcane Intellect. And we'll get 1 in Barrier. Okay, and what do we invest into? Yippee-ki-yay, it's magic time. I should probably invest maybe a little bit into strength, give myself some armor, or maybe some focus. Hard to tell. Alright, anything else, or do we just venture back out again? Oh, please tell me I have just enough. I don't have enough for the regen. Let's... hold up. I gotta think about that beforehand. Losing the health is rough. We have these two. I can't imagine I can sell them for much. I'll definitely have to make sure I get food buffs in the future. How much does this sell for? Simple robe. Put it back on. Kind of tacky to spend 100 on it and then immediately sell it back for 14. But the regen, I'm confident that the regen is far more valuable than the let's see. The regen is far more valuable than any amount of like health and defense and armor. Especially the mana regen. Okay, mess them up. I think my damage is higher. It doesn't look like it went up by much though, so maybe when it's like +5 attack, Gazoon-tight shell. When it says +5 attack, it's probably a 5% bonus, rather than a flat +5. I was hoping it was a +5. It's a biggie. Now, I think they reused some of this, maybe some of the sprite work from Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I think. Hard to tell. The sprites look better and better with every game. But I'd have to like go back and compare them directly. Personally, I'm a big fan of reusing stuff. You know, if you're going to be making multiple games in the same series and you're not doing like a big overhaul, who cares if you've used the same models or whatnot? Like we could have gotten like 5 or 6 more Mega Man Legends games, and I would have been perfectly happy with chunky pixels. Whoops. There are console commands. I don't know how much there is at the moment, but still. I mean, I guess if we're talking Mega Man, I'm thinking like the well, no, there was a notable improvement in the sprites over the course of the Mega Man X series. I think it was like Mega Man X1 or Mega Man X1 through X3 used the same sprites, and then I think they did an upgrade and then somewhat kept those for the rest of the Pixel Mega Man games, at least. And then I think the same thing was true with the original Mega Man games as well, which, like, yeah, sure, more power to them. As long as the game's good. And everything looks cohesive. Like, sometimes, every once in a while, you run into a game where it's clear the developer is, like, using a bot asset tree, and it just looks so bad. But, like, if you paid somebody to put in the work to make a thing, whoops, you know, kind of more power to you to reuse them. I think it was like there was a hullabaloo about that for either God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Zero Dawn or something. I couldn't understand it. It was just like, why? Literally nothing has changed. Oh, was it animations? An amount of the animations had changed, but like, if there's no like major technology leaps, who cares if you reuse that stuff? You know, it'd be weird if you were reusing the animations or like rotoscoping from Mortal Kombat for your like fully 3D Mortal Kombat game, unless it was like a nostalgia bit. There we go. Okay, what is this? Lifestone. Chance to restore health on kill. That's nice. Hey, and we get the cook again. Join my town. Serving of hearty meal. Stats. No effects. Hearty meal. +1 to health and mana regen. Oh, that's even better. I might want to invest a little bit into vitality. Maybe even more than that hypothetical. Maybe I could invest into strength. Because yeah, +1 mana regen really is going to keep me kind of in the keep me in the green as far as just spitting spells. Mostly. Okay, there's actually an enemy up there. Only one, but even then. I'm yawning. You are now yawning. I don't know what's getting me. It's been a long couple of days. Oh, I know what's getting me. I was a dum-dum and stayed up stupid late a couple nights ago reading books. I don't read much anymore. When I was a kid, it was kind of easy because you have this like big backlog of big famous books to read. You know, Lord of the Rings or... well, I guess I got really into the Dragonlance books. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm trying to think of other, like, great examples of books that I devoured when I was younger. Their numbers, there were so many of them. But as I've gotten older and have kind of read most of the like, really big famous novels that were kind of aimed at young adults, I've kind of run out of things to read, and I'm not exactly in an advertising ecosystem where I'm going to learn about a whole lot of books. Normally, at least. You know, I can walk into a Barnes & Noble, but there's, like, 10,000 books there. Which one do you pick up? I don't know. And so, like, there's been a trend recently at a lot of bookstores to, let's see, even more mana regen. Trend at bookstores to have, like, their employees write down, like, hey, this is a great sci-fi novel because here's reasons. Those wolves were, fusing. And so you'd have, like, little blurbs recommending books. And I thought that was neat. And I think that was I think that's a very good way of at least somewhat directing people towards various novels. I actually wish more stores would do that. I go to a big board game store fairly often. I was just there. They have, like, little kiosks that'll have, like, you know, pick of the day or, like, these are the, like, what do I call them? Hidden gems or something like that. I'm like, that's nice. I really wish they'd actually just go through and write, like, little personalized blurbs about why each game is good, if they've played them. Hell, that'd actually be kind of cool if you could, if they'd even let, like, customers write those for some of the more, like, enduring games. Like, they've got all of the Arkham Horror games just on a shelf, and, like, I'd write a little blurb for each of those, just like, hey, this is good because blank. I guess the one fear is that, like, that would somewhat limit people's choices to only the ones with the blurbs. You know, anything else that is not blurbed is suspect. Which is fair, you know, anytime I've seen this system... Anytime I've seen this system done, the non-blurbed things were clearly not the priority. Or at least, it was harder for me to make them a priority, and it didn't feel like the store was prioritizing them as much. Let's see. Let's just wait for the fireball to come back. Yeah, this is somewhat of a pain. Not a big deal, but still. But yeah, so as part of that, I've been having a lot of trouble finding novels that really catch my attention. You know, there's a couple, like I'll read Scalzi, he's good. I read another one recently by S.A. Barnes that was, I think it was Dead Silence? You know, somehow I've completely lost it. Ooh, new weapon. I don't actually know if it's any better than the one I have. 30-30 plus 10, 30-30 plus 10. So that means the equipment system isn't as procedurally generated as I thought, but maybe that's fine. Maybe it wasn't Dead Silence. It was about a derelict ship. I thought it was... Oh, wait, no. It definitely was Dead Silence. It just had, like, a salvage crew and a haunted vessel or something as, like, taglines intermixed in the title, and it throws me off a little bit. Let's see. But that was a legitimately, like, very good book, and I had a good time with it. I don't usually read or interact with most horror media, because it's just not my flavor. Did I... check the map? Okay. I just want to make sure that I got everything. Didn't miss anything. Usually there's like a skill stone somewhere. Unless it's like right there in the water section. Or I missed a path. I don't see any paths. So yeah, unless it's right there on the water. I guess let's go back and double check. Because I don't think I grabbed anything that would modify my stats at the moment. Or stats and abilities. I guess I might be able to check that. Skills. Effects, stats. No. Eh. But so... I wouldn't exactly call myself a prolific reader in all of the... You know, in this regard, but... The moment I find a book that I really, really, really like, I will devour it in a day. Like, unquestioningly, even if it's kind of late. Oh, is there something down to the right here? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, no, that's out of bounds anyway. So unless it's directly to the left here on the other side of this, no. Yeah, I guess there's no ability orb in this area. Or I've just thoroughly missed it and somebody's going to be like, actually, you just passed it, and I would be upset. But at least I don't see it. I don't think I grabbed it. That's fine. But yeah, so I was reading Dead Silence specifically and was getting into it. It was a good book. And read until like 3:30 in the morning, and that was probably not great for me, and it's left me sleepy for the last couple days. And also, they woke up the next day with, you know, having a nightmare because somebody was reaching out to grab me. Which is like, you know, just one of my fears of, oddly enough, being grappled. I just don't like the idea of, like, somebody reaching for me and, like, pinning me or just, like, doing something to me, and I can only resist so much. I mean, I'm assuming it's, like, a common fear. But there's kind of that, like, perpetual dude fear of just, like, you know, could I handle myself in a fight or not? And the answer is, like, no, I'm a soft boy. I think I do reasonably well against a equally soft boy, but somebody actually, like, gunning for a fight? I don't know. They say the best revenge is living well, but that's kind of hard to do when you're in a fight. There we go. Let's see, plus 20 attack power. Still need to figure out how attack power exactly jives with my attacks. Is it only with my left attack, or is it just, like, everything? It's definitely boosted my attack, like, my regular attack damage. Yeah, I gotta sit down and actually start reading more books and, like, really looking into, hey, what are good, like, sci-fi fantasy books that come out? You know, which one should I pay attention to and go out of my way to pick up or read or something? Over the last year, I'd say, like, kind of ever since the pandemic, I've been a little bit more like, hey, I'm actually gonna start collecting things that appeal to me. So, for my birthday, we bought a bunch of anime. Which is actually kind of nice. So I picked up all of Metabots and all of Digimon. Just cause I could. And because I don't want to have to pay a streaming service for, you know, the chance of maybe being able to watch some of these, I find that that was just affecting my watching habits in a bad way. I was watching a lot of garbage just because it's like, well, I want to watch something. I don't know, let's see what's on Maxflix or whatever. And it would just be bad. I mean, maybe not always bad, but it didn't have the, like, appeal that, you know, a really good show would have. Okay, so more attack power per intelligence, which isn't a bad idea. Let's see. Casting spells, chance to generate a stacked barrier, or now let's just scale my attack power based on intellect. I'm here to drub you with my mind. But so as part of that, I'd also like to start collecting some more good books that are worth just holding on to that I might want to reread every once in a while. So we bought like a really fancy edition. Really fancy. It was a decently fancy edition of Lord of the Rings. We did pick that up, right, Shell? The Lord of the Rings set by the Vaesen, with the Vaesen cover art? Or did we not get that? We did pick it up? Okay. My memory was failing me. I was like, did we actually pick it up, or was it just kind of waffling about picking it up? But yeah, so the cover artist for the tabletop RPG Vaesen had been hired to do some really like fancy cover art for Lord of the Rings, and it looked really nice, so we picked that up because you know, as a kid I had a copy of Lord of the Rings, but that's at my parents' place, and you know, ostensibly is my parents'. Even if I could like reclaim it, it's also one of those where my parents burn wood, and anything in their home it is effectively covered in smoke, and that is not exactly great for preservation or even long-term quality of anything. Alright, I should just be pumping magic missiles here. I should see if I can actually reconfigure my mouse so I don't have to press Q and E for anything. That would make sense. Nope, I guess he just died. Then I've also been on like a collect old game kick recently as well. In terms of like, hey, I never played Xenosaga. I never played Xenogears. Let's pick those up. I love the Xenoblade game, so go figure, right? Or like Star Fox Adventures. We rented it from Blockbuster twice, and my parents still wouldn't let us buy it for some reason, and it was baffling because it's just like, no, we want to finish this, but a week is not enough because my parents would limit us to like 2 hours of video games per day. Okay, so what is this? Blessing of Prowess. What does that do? Skills cost no mana. Oh, but it's a temp. It's a temp blessing. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that it, you know, only lasts for a certain amount of time, but that is also obscenely powerful, so... Fighting with an enemy inflicts bleeding, has a 1 second cooldown. I wonder if it's a 1 second cooldown per enemy or a 1 second cooldown per activation period. But yeah, so as part of this like desire to read and buy and or read books is like actually maybe scout out some books that I'd love to own. I guess I did already say that. But that's just been like a lot of media for me lately, of like trying to preserve cool things. I think it's somewhat kind of a reaction specifically to streaming services, and I mean, I don't know if you've heard the news out of like California and Steam and whatnot, but they're changing the language for Steam, saying like, hey, you don't own any of the things you buy. These are not actually yours, you're just licensing access to them. Which is kind of crappy, but I get it. You know, because there's no, like, practical way for you to own a digital thing. without either opening the doors fully for piracy for people to just share said thing, or, you know, just like, how do you even distribute that after a while? You know, once Steam is gone, which, you know, is probably going to happen someday, presumably if Gabe Newell passes away. Because I think he's still the majority shareholder, split with his wife. And there's, like, an easy possibility that, like, one or both of them passes away, sells that to somebody else, that somebody else decides, you know what, I'm going to go full Silicon Valley with this now. Time to inshittify Steam. Oh, you want to install your game? That's going to be 20 cents. Oh, you have 3,000 games in your library. Sorry, you have to pay us a subscription or we'll start cutting some of those. And you'll have to rebuy them. You know, there's so many, like, weird, shitty things that somebody with zero ethics could do with a platform like Steam. Just like they're doing with, say, Netflix. This was conversing with a VAC. We were talking about, like, what do we record, you know, on Sundays if, you know, somebody can't make it to our usual Sunday streams. And so, you know, I was like, hey, Planet Crafter. And they're like, yeah. Or a VAC had said, like, yeah, but I don't want to commit to something that, or I don't want to play anything that I can't commit to. You know, I already have enough of that problem with Netflix. I'd hate to be perpetuate it myself. That was actually like a kind of insightful observation, point to be made of just like, yeah, it does kind of suck to get invested in this thing and then have somebody arbitrarily cancel it for reasons that don't feel that good. Masonry chisel. And simple vitality cap. Alright. Okay, so this is more vitality. Vitality armor crit damage. Armor crit damage fire. I do it a decent amount of... I don't know, I think I'm going to go for the survivability. The Hellfire isn't that big. Alright. Using my ring finger instead of my middle finger to play. Which is actually working out weirdly well. I'm a little clumsier, but still. It's still better than using the controller in the moment. But so... yeah, kind of my reactions to... I mean, yeah, Silicon Valley just starting to take all of the things that, like, are cool or were cool over the last, like, decade and a half, and then figuring out how to over-monetize those is pushing me into this kind of, like, weird state where I'm over-consuming things that I don't want to lose out on. So, like, Digimon, for example. You know, when I was a kid, I literally taped all of Digimon Season 4 so I could rewatch it. It didn't help that it would come on specifically as I was going out the door to go to middle school. So it was just kind of like, well, what else do I do? But tape this thing. And now it's a little bit more... doesn't seem like there's anything... oh, nope, there they are. It's like, I'm sure there's going to be enemies. They ain't showing. But then, ooh, I think those might be more recruits. I just want to find people that go back to town for me. Answer your call to arms. Join you on your quest. Cool. Minions. Very killable minions. But yeah, I went years before I was able to watch Digimon again. And, like, admittedly, I think now Crunchyroll just offers... does it? I actually don't know. But I don't like rolling the dice on that kind of thing. You know, shows like Farscape, which I only was able to watch because my wife just had a DVD copy that she was kind enough to lend me. I never finished it. I watched, I think, the first 2 or 3 seasons, and I was like, yeah, this is good. I'll watch more of this, and then junior year of college started, and then I was busy and haven't been back to it since. I've been seeing like a revival lately with a bunch of people rewatching it. but there's kind of that desire of like, yeah, there's all these things that I've wanted to experience for forever. It'd be a shame to not have that. Reduces spell cooldowns, bigger explosion size. I think I'm just going to do spell cooldowns. Because, yeah, I'm not convinced the fireball's that good after a certain point. Ooh, well, rip those guys. I was not expecting the beetle spam to come after me. Well, okay, one of them's still alive for the moment. Dude's gonna get clobbered by a rock, though, while I'm running away. Yep, there he goes. Nostradamus. At me. Oops. Do not corner self. The dodge, I don't know if the dodge lets you dodge through enemies. I haven't been bold enough to try. I think I might have done it unintentionally, but I was not exactly paying attention. Let's see. Is it gonna... I don't know. I'm just places. Ow, ow. Ooh, bad time to lose control. Unfortunately, WASD with the ring finger does not jive with my muscle memory in the slightest. That's okay. So what else do we have? Ring of Regeneration. Not bad. Good for health and mana regen. Resistances, potion, nah. Enlightenment actually wouldn't be bad. I think I'm just going to go for the regen. Oh, we can just get multiple of these. Ooh, but it does cost me gold. I'll get the Book of Enlightenment as well. You get a decent amount of gold, but experience is extremely valuable. But yeah, if I can have extremely high regen, health and mana-wise, I shouldn't have as many problems. Maybe. Bad time to take my hand off the keyboard. An itch on the back of my head, and I was like, yeah, this is a fine time to scratch it. There's nothing around, right? There's always something around. But even just kind of outside of the, like, not wanting to miss out, it's just kind of nice to actually own stuff. Which, yeah, maybe a little consumerist, but it's just something kind of fun about having, like, a big board game collection or something. Which I guess is the other thing I've been collecting. I think part of it is, like, even outside of the, like, yeah, I get to play these things, especially for older or, like, rarer things that functionally become lost media over time, because there's you know, the companies or owners or whatever aren't really reproducing them for some reason. There's something really satisfying about, like, walking into a used game store or a board game store and finding something that you've had on your list for a while. So a couple weeks ago, last month, we were in DC for a trip. And we walked into this, like, really big used game store, and it was just like, oh, you know all those games that you've actively been collecting or wanting to collect your entire life but can't because, you know, none of the used game stores stock them because they're either rare or expensive or both. Yeah, they're just all on the shelf right there to the right. And so we picked up, like, a silly amount of good used games. And just the, like... I'm gonna go into my options for a second. Hopefully nothing tries to kill me while I'm in here. Can I actually change this? Oh, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's so much better. I've got a specialty mouse. Now I don't have to take my hands off of WASD. What was the third skill? Or third skill? I don't have a third skill, so I'm kind of curious about what that means. Doesn't look like there's anything else here. Check the map. Looks like it's clear. We can get out of here. But yeah, the excitement of finally finding these games that I've been looking for actually years, ever since I was a child, it was super exciting. And like, yeah, there's something to be said about like, yeah, don't grab too many. Okay, so the immediate problem is I do not want to be stuck in a hole with these guys because they will probably pummel me into the dirt. Or the rocks will. So what do we have in here? Ooh, ability orb. I like those. Bigger fireball, better barriers. I think I'm just going to go arcane intellect. I'm just going to make my intelligence somebody else's problem. Here we go. But yeah, I never really had kind of appreciated the idea of collection. You know, as soon as digital distribution came out, I pretty much stopped buying games physically because it's just like, what's the point? Where am I going to store this in my tiny little dorm? And also, that was kind of the time when like Netflix was becoming big and they just had everything, and anything they didn't have, like maybe there was Hulu and that was about it. And I think Crunchyroll came on the scene and was like, yeah, now I have access to like all that anime I always wanted to watch. But at some point you come out on the other side of that and you're just kind of like, oh, they've just gotten rid of it all because I guess licensing fees or something. And that sucks. And like, you know, the older I get, the less likely, or the less I want to Yarhar anything. Ooh. Yeah, the bleed from these guys is rough. I gotta be very careful about that. But yeah, especially as a creative and a creator and an adult who can actually afford things, you know, the idea of Yarharing stuff after a while just becomes actually kind of, well, I mean, it's unethical, sort of. Yeah. And so, like, yeah, trying to just collect as many things as I can so I never feel that kind of temptation. Mostly. There's some bits where you might have to kind of consider it, like, we were trying to watch the Sailor Moon movie last night. And the first Sailor Moon movie, and the voice actors were different, and some of the content was changed. Okay, there we go. Had to find the buttons again. But yeah, they changed the voice cast for like a recent re-release, and you know, hired whole new bunch of voice actors and whatnot. And so Shell was like, this is wrong, it sounds weird, these are not the characters I grew up with. And it's like, if Ash Ketchum suddenly had, like, my voice. That'd be weird, right? As opposed to... Oh, I forget who the voice actress is for Ash Ketchum. Because, yeah, it's always, like, a woman, if you're going to be doing a child, like, a long-term child, like Ash Ketchum especially. Or Bart Simpson, actually. I think Bart Simpson's voice actor is also a woman. Let's rely on a couple of those. Let's see. But so yeah, it's like, how do you get access to these bits of media that have been shuttered or shuffled away or replaced? Oh, yeah, on the same news of that, there was, what? Plants vs. Zombies 3 is shutting down, sort of, as of today. I don't think you can download it anymore. You definitely can't pay for anything. And the whole game is going off all app stores in about a month. So, like, people who own it already and already have stuff for it can finish it up, but that's about it. That always kind of rankles, because it's just like, one, I haven't even played Plants vs. Zombies 2. I didn't even know Plants vs. Zombies 3 was a thing, but of course they're mobile games. And probably heavily over-monetized garbage, instead of actually being good games, maybe. Let's see, is that actually something? I should probably keep an eye out for secret passages, but I haven't seen anything that looks even remotely close to a secret passage here. Let's see. But yeah, so they're shutting that down, and it kind of sucks, because it's like, well, I guess I never am going to get the chance to play that game. And it only sucks so much as, like, I hate missing out on things that might be good, but the older I get, the more I realize, like, yeah, there's no way I'm actually going to be able to experience all of this media that I want to. I can try, but really it just means I just need to be much more selective. You know, only play the things that truly appeal and kind of leave everything else by the wayside. This is a recruitable, I think. Oh no, we get to trade something, so I can switch out the Lifestone. I think I'm gonna go for the... Ooh. Greater Ring of Speed is pretty good. Or we have the Crest of Victory. Damage against bosses. And if I get the set bonus, it gets me... I think I'm still going to get rid of the Wicked Hooks. Because at least the Lifestone has some practical benefits. Whereas Wicked Hooks on a mage is really useless to me. Kind of wish I could have a little mini map in the corner. Just as a, like... just so I can be sure that I'm not missing anything. There we go. I think it does feel a little bit more gratifying now. So much of the gotta play everything came from YouTube. And I don't know, I'm just maybe a bit of an obsessive person when it comes to video games. They're fun. But that, like, I hate the idea of missing out on something cool. I don't really care about the community aspect of it. Like, what was everybody playing recently? Oh, Elden Ring. Yeah, I played a little bit of Elden Ring when it came out, and then I broke a controller and said, okay, I should stop playing this game. I think I was also getting frustrated since some of the bonus bosses out in the world were kicking my butt 7 ways to Tuesday. But, you know, at some point I would like to play through Elden Ring, mostly just so that I can say that I've played through Elden Ring. And, you know, have that experience that so many other people have had and have said is amazing. Same thing with Bloodborne, though, I think to a lesser degree. I think Bloodborne's just a little too high reflex for me at this point. I could get good, it's just the act of doing so is effort. Okay, so extra health and mana is not a bad idea. Spell hits, chance to confuse, extra gold gain. I'm gonna go for the Amulet of Vigor and the Trader's Coin. The extra gold gain should be good, unless I get killed here. Which would suck. Also, they seem to have done away with the key system, which I'm actually very happy about. I never liked having to stock copper, gold, and silver keys when playing this game. It felt like a lot of extra effort with minimal reward. Just a lot of extra effort that felt unsatisfying. Okay, something's gonna come after me, I think. No. I was expecting to get ambushed in here by a bunch of beetles or goblins or something. Guess not. There we go. I think all we have left is one more. I'd like the ability to actually send stuff back at some point. But then again, I'm pretty sure my progress is not going to be saved. so maybe it doesn't matter that much. Armor and returns damage when taking damage. A lot of stuff that isn't really what I need or want, but that's fine. I'll just take anything I can get pre-boss fight. Who knows how useful it's going to be, right? Okay, boss fight. Let's see how it goes. Dark caves. Totem pole. So probably more Gabbins? Gabbins. Okay. I see, there's probably tiers to this. I'm just gonna hang out in the back for a hot second. I've got really good regen, so I don't need to use my health potion necessarily. As long as I'm somewhat reclusive. Okay, so you literally cannot dodge through enemy attacks in this one. I think we're up to the Earth Totem now. Okay, which is fine. Ow, 29 damage. My regen is mostly handling this. Fortunately, the enemies are extremely accurate. Okay, let's fight something other than the Earth Totem if I can manage it. Okay, Lightning Totem. Time to find out if that's more manageable. Well, they're chasing me. Okay. It seems like the goblins are kind of ever-present. I can't really tell how much I'm supposed... Ooh, don't get hit by those. What's after lightning? Ice. Okay. Might want to use my healing potion at some point here. There's a lot of enemies. Hoping to kind of finish them all off. But as far as I can tell, they infinitely spawn, which is kind of good bad. Okay. At this point, I'm just going full Rambo. Looks like we're good. Got combo kills. And a whole bunch of resources. A whole bunch of resources. Chainmail undershirt, numbing fire tome. Forest level 3. Oh god. How do I get keep my stuff then? I have no idea. Okay, so those are mushrooms. Oh, damned if you do, damned if you don't. How long are these runs? This is a beefy demo. Bit of an issue. Actually, starting to get to the point where my hands are getting uncomfortable. I mean, they're already uncomfortable. Go figure, I ran a knife through one of them. Finger of one of them, but still. I was hoping there would be the like ability to send stuff back down or back home or something. There used to be like dumbwaiter elevators. Every second you gain a 33% chance to fire an arrow towards a random enemy, dealing 50 damage. Yo, that's nice. Okay, there's the cultists, which I'm supposedly hunting. I don't think these are cultists of consequence, though. I think these are just garden grade cultists. Okay. Well, one way or another, much as I'd like to finish this run, I am actually starting to injure myself a little bit by using my ring finger to press WASD, so I should probably stop that. But I can safely say I'm enjoying this thoroughly, and I will absolutely be back for more of it at some point. Maybe sooner than later. I gotta figure out exactly what my schedules are, but I might end up actually squeezing in a bonus multiplayer episode of this before the... Oh, we got the combo kill going on. Might actually squeeze in a bonus multiplayer episode of this with my friends sooner than later. I'm manaless, but that's okay. I did spend a lot of it there, but to great effect. Okay, so we got that there. We've got a boatload of bats. I don't know what my combo kill bonus even nets me, if it does net me anything. But yeah, I can kind of maintain this for a while. I know in Heroes of Hammerwatch 1 there were some pretty good combo kill bonuses. So hopefully this gets there as well. That's an elite, I think. I'm pretty sure if it's got a red circle, it's an elite. Alright. I was just hoping after the first boss it would take me back to town, and it's like, thanks for playing the demo. Here, you can do some meta progression. But the fact that it's kept going, it's just like, oh no, they actually are letting you do a full roguelike run, and that feels great, actually. I don't know, too many demos are way too restrictive with their content. They're afraid to let players do anything. Played one demo the other day that was just like a 10-minute tutorial, and then as soon as you finish it, it's just like, thanks for playing, and I was like, I hated this. That sucks. You know, don't make... Tutorials are my least favorite part of any single game, and if you're using that as your primary means of advertising, then you failed. I like games that teach you as you go. Like, hey, here's how to downstrike. But then you can just not do it if you don't want to. But here's how to downstrike, have fun. And then, of course, like, any sensible player will actively say, like, yeah, I'm going to start using the downstrike because it's useful. Was an unreasonable player? No, I don't know. Blow that up. Unfortunately, the bats evade. Okay, so I guess before I go, I should say a couple of quick things. Namely, that Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 is available on Steam right now, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. Let's see. What else was I going to say? I don't know. I think it's a legitimately good demo, very much worth playing. Hopefully the multiplayer is functional. Oh, do I want to do the numbing fire tome? Yeah. I think we do. Okay, screw it. Let's just play a little bit more. Look, man, I like this game and I want to keep going with it. Might just, I don't know, cut out the previous run. If you didn't see a previous run before this one, then you know. Additional projectiles per cast is tempting, fireball size, or experience gain. Let's go for the experience gain, just in case this carries over. My wagon is full. Would you like a piece of equipment? Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. So you could get another tome. A Simple robe. I think that's more attack speed. I think I'm going to go for the Crushing Frost Wand. Yeah, I can't do anything else. Okay, Chaos Orb. Your spell hits gain a chance to do 30 additional damage. And it's a 5% chance per element. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, let's try the new wand. I don't know. Who knows? This might just be a long video. I was trying to do outros in the middle of videos because I'm a sad man that loves video games. I'm not a sad man. I'm having a good time. I just have poor impulse control. And hello, we have some friends. That fire rune is good. I think we were just desperate for a new weapon. Spending 50 mana restores a dash. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, the difference of finding a better weapon makes in your ability to just completely ruin things. Okay, getting those combo kills. Maybe this is something? Temple, level 1. Oh boy. We are just a rolling. So the one downer of this weapon is it doesn't have the pot blasting capabilities that the fire staff had. So I'll probably try and go back for a fire build. Oh. Stuck on a candelabra. Is that 6,000 experience? Cripes. And I can't pick that one up for reasons. I guess it just won't let me. Oh, unless it's a mana item. That's why I can't use it. Oh, that's the benefit of the mana shards. Or no? I thought they bounced. But I guess something else bounced. Oh, it is fine. Oop. It's fine. We're killing them quickly enough, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, music here is super good. I mean, music for every single Hammerwatch game has been super good. I don't think I can think of a single Hammerwatch song I haven't liked. I guess I never got too far into the DLC for Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I think I beat the desert one once and said, yep, good enough for me. And never went back because it was much harder. And I don't remember if there were more DLCs after that one. But if there were, I don't think I played them. I know they had like a custom class that was kind of neat sounding, but I just didn't bother with it. There's a lot of different classes. They did like if like you maxed out or beat a run with a character, you get a permanent boost for all of them. I thought that was a neat choice. Definitely a great way of handling, like, pushing players to try every single class and potentially max them out. Because at least those passives were extremely strong or helpful. And like once you're winning with one character, you'll probably win with the other ones. Spending 100 mana discharges earth spikes in all directions, dealing a bunch of physical damage. Cool. Sure. Yeah, the proc effects in the equipment so far has felt considerably better than Heroes of Hammerwatch. Okay. And, like, I actually feel like I can go places. Oh, it's extra potion charge. Casting 2 spells within 2 seconds. Grants a buff, increases attack, speed, or extra wood gain. I don't know. I think we just go for the splitting axe. At this point, my main goal is mostly to just grab as much stuff as I can. Fingers crossed that I can, you know, keep it. I don't know. Whenever I play a roguelite, especially a roguelite of this immensity, playing the demo version, I'm always crossing my fingers that I actually get to keep all my progress between. Even if it resets the story, as long as I can keep my stuff and resources as just kind of a, like, yes, here's the redone intro, but here's all your loot that you'd already, like, acquired previously. It might be slightly different from the last time you remember. But, like, whatever. I can accept that as long as, you know, I have that meta progression. What is that? Silver plate. Now this was foolish coming in here. Foolish for them. Cripes. I was not expecting to be rolling these guys this hard. I guess we have 200. We have a lot more HP and other abilities. It's extra dash charge. Ooh. I also conjure thunderbolts, striking at nearby enemies. Yeah, this run is just so much better. Okay, now that I've got money. I came in here for a hoedown, but I forgot, or hoedown, throwdown, both. Yeah, I completely forgot to actually grab the rest of the loot in there. Yeah, I think my regen's just so high at this point that I'm able to kind of sustain myself through a lot more than normal. Ooh, invisible guy? Yeah, my stats just go straight back up to full. Let's see, there's so many dudes. Yeah, definitely looking forward to playing this multiplayer. I think just having a couple of assistants to help clear things out and look for treasure is going to be extremely helpful. Assistants, comrades, hopefully whatever reported netcode issues present in Hammerwatch 2 are not here. Okay. I think I'm gonna just go empowered attacks. We're already doing a ton of damage. Seems like a good idea. Hopefully they also give me an elevator so I can send this stuff back. The resurrection fee is expensive. But maybe the point is you're actually supposed to survive runs. Like, Heroes of Hammerwatch definitely felt like you had to grind at least an amount of meta progression before you had a chance to win. Here, this actually feels like a fairly solid balance right out the gate. It means meta progression might end up kind of nullifying a lot of the challenge, and that is, like, very much a worry with these games. That too many roguelites either overtune themselves so that you have to grind to, like, get anywhere, or they're undertuned fairly easy even from the first round, and then you get, like, all the extra meta progression you get just makes the game a joke. And I don't really know which ones I like. Hopefully the answer is they're just going to have multiple layers of difficulty, so it's like, oh, you've mastered this. You know, here, this is the advanced version. It's got better loot, keep doing it. You know, kind of almost Diablo style. Because I remember playing Diablo 3, after Reaper of Souls came out, because I think they had the Switch version. And Shell and I did a series on that one. And they had like 13 difficulty levels or something crazy like that. Or more. And like the higher you went up, the better the stuff you got. And so that was actually kind of cool. But also did feel like it was maybe a little too Skinner boxy. Maybe. I want to actually go back. There's like 1 or 2 chambers that I haven't been into yet. Seems like a good time. Ooh, ow. Whatever that bleed effect is rough. Alright, we're good. Luckily, regen is more than capable of sustaining me. Yeah, unfortunately, my self-healing is... This looks spooky as shit. Never mind. That's the exit. Okay. I guess I could have actually used that health potion there earlier. I guess I might as well come here and eat this meat in the rug room. Ew. Ew. I don't like thinking about that. Okay, anything else? We got this here. Definitely hoping I can find another fire staff, though. Anything that will let me destroy boxes and barrels quickly would be a blessing. Almost kind of a shame you can't just walk over it. There we go. Set that there. Yeah, I might just end up using some skill orbs to boost my fireball's AoE. Just so we can destroy more pots. I think I'm mostly going to look into just getting a weapon with an AoE to it. There we go. Oh, no, already got the guy. What else do we have here? You know what? These fire runes are just about as effective as most other options, so yeah, let's start using those.
I can't do that.
Can I get through here? Yes. Not that that's much of anything. Die, potato. I think it actually really gave me much of any meaningful use. Alright, and I think we got it all. Alright, let's get out of here. Finally. I don't know what this buff or debuff is. No, info, effects. No, stats, no, skills. I have no idea. It's probably related to one of the items or trinkets we've picked up so far. Well, gotta be trinkets. The actual items themselves are just stat sticks for the most part. Yeah, I kind of figured. On the plus side, my character is fairly competent in combat. And I can just torch everything else. That's a big boy. Okay. Let me use the fireballs too much. Oh, and that's the end of the demo. Hey, there we go. Okay, I guess I could have it all in one video. Boy, that's a lot of stuff. Now let's see what I can actually unlock. Hello, sir. Magic shop. Oh boy. Guild hall upgrade. Hunter's cabin. Apothecary requires something I don't even have. Okay, what else we got? More. Blacksmith tier 2? Sure. Music does not like it when I do that, but hey, here we are. We got a lot of stuff done. Yeah, so the town really does just get bigger. Oh, right. You know what? These all have, like, eye levels of 1 and 2. Get rid of all of them. Did I ever replace my gloves? I did not. Sure. Okay, so can I get through here? Yeah. So these are all just regular rarity. Can increase my attack power. Ah. Probably should have saved up for other things, but hard to care. Oh, and we can add extra eye level to weapons and equipment. So even if, so if there's an item that you really like, either the effects of it or the, you know, the stats or anything, you can actually keep boosting it. I like that. I think eye level scaling is actually one of the better ways to handle magic. Let's see. Can I actually check in the stats screen? Info, stats. Plus 50. Okay, so plus 50 mana plus 0.5. So each focus is 0.05 mana regen. So that means just investing it into intelligence is better. I'm just going to put points into vitality and intelligence. Just a lot of HP, a lot of... Ooh. A lot of vitality and a lot of mana regen. And some amount of HP regen. Anyway, I think with that, now it's a proper stopping point for this video, and since I've already done my spiel a while ago, you know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thank you all so much for watching, though. This is a lot of fun. Ooh, okay, I have to go over here for a hot second. There's a golden thing on the map, and I want to know what that is. Looks like there might be multiple entrances and exits, like different places you can go to. Hello to you? What's going on with the road idiots running around? Yeah, like, does this just become an area for the whole town? I'm assuming so. Big empty building? Yeah. I might even... Oh, this is probably the chapel, and maybe there's going to be a kitchen somewhere nearby. Maybe it's a bit too big, but... You know what? I'd be totally fine with it being big, as long as you can actually, like, just click on a list and warp to any of the locations instead of having to walk. That'd be lovely. But anyway, for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Wait, there's a magic store. Sorry. There's one last thing. We know what the apothecary does, but what about you? Elemental resistances. Mana pickup gain. Yeah, those are good.